Good night, fellow punchers. The clock on the wall says 19 minutes past 9 on Saturday night. Back with a couple for tomorrow. Not going out tonight, so I spent the last hour and a half going through a few races. I'm sort of house minding and animal minding for the weekend with people gone away. So I'm just as happy. I'm a bit tired anyway. And I have to watch the Belmont Stakes, and there's a good the Met handicap and the turf races on as well. So something to look forward to. We had 3 that ran today already. We had we had a first, a second, and a third. We had a third in France. We took on the 2 favourites, the one from Ireland and England, beat those, but the other 2 got away at the start. The jockey should have been way out or trying to help us further back. You often notice that they don't be too busy and they don't give a lot of help from the saddle either at times. So it was third. And then we had Ryan Moore on the astrologist. There's another day for that horse, obviously, because he didn't give him enough stick when he needed to, not fit enough for 7 and back, being a Ascot and over 6. So he'll be out in front, something that he did in the Alquaz and Medan. Then we had a grand winner in Chazwa, or Chazir, or however you pronounce it, I forget. Looked like at one stage coming up the stretch he was lugging a bit as though Jesus is going to be like White Wolf the other night. Nice price, going to be second. But he held on and backing it each way. Actually, it worked out that we got a little more by quarter the odds, even though there was a Rule 4. So rather than if there was a 50 odds with 8 running. So happy days. Well, I think that'll win again too. That's only its second run on the turf. I like to say, I got him. I was reading the comments. I missed them out earlier yesterday, but I was reading that comment that Terry Woods left, that he's suffering from cancer for the last 4.5 years, and he's nearing. And I was absolutely, I was gobsmacked. I didn't know how sort of reply to it, so I don't know what part of the world you're in, but if there's anything at all that I can do, send me an email. I'll drop my email in the description tonight. Anything at all. Because I'd even get over or some, I don't know, anything, just ask. Sorry to hear that. And condolences as well to the Rebels. Teddy McCarthy, an absolute legend, won 2 All-Irelands the same year, hurling and football in 1990, wasn't it? I met him once. Well, I was in his company once. There was no selfies or anything at that time. But I can't remember where, but I was right beside him. Could have been in Croke Park, could have been in the hotel or somewhere, I don't know. So anyway, we'll get on to tomorrow. There's a couple of long distance handicaps that I always try to target. And we have a horse here, he opened up 100 to 30, Mountain Road. It done us a good turn in Chelmsford, wasn't it? On the 10th of November. And it won well enough. I even said at that time, I said, we'll follow this horse again. But we had a horse in this race the last year because it was a class 2. We were on Law of the Sea. And Solent Getaway got a sort of an easy lead up front, and we couldn't get there. I was very sweet on that because that had been 4th in the Chester Cup. But this is, what do we call him? Mountain Road. That's him at the very back of the field now, number 7, right? This is at the start of the race.
45 yards. Rashun is up there early on, the dark blue. Also with the cheap pieces for Callum Rodriguez. Far side now.
We fast forward. He's still at the back of the field.
First 3/4 of a mile, and they're heading.
He's still at the back of the field.
Side. The leader is Solent Gateway. Man and Carzola.
Still at the back of the field.
The back marker is still Mount Gateway now begins to just up the ante in front, leads by a length too. Reshu now shaken up in second. Law of the Sea's got a nice seam through on the inside. One off the fence, out wide of the Max We Can. Carzola, Frankie is driving away, and there's not a great deal of response as they head down, still with 2.5 furlongs to go. It's still Solent Gateway on the far side who leads. Law of the Sea has got alongside but has not got past. The Max We Can out wide, and then comes First Man, but Solent Gateway keeps on finding for Holly as they head inside the two. It's still Solent Gateway the leader. Law of the Sea trying to close in second. The Max We Can wider out in third, and then comes First Man, nothing from off the pace. It's still Solent Gateway. Law of the Sea will have one more go though as they head inside the final half furlong on the far rail. Solent Gateway is still leading from Law of the Sea, and Solent Gateway driven out will hold on. Winning spare for Holly Doyle. Solent Gateway wins for Hugo Palmer. Second place in the end was Law of the Sea, close for third.
Nothing from off the pace, he said. Well, there was something from off the pace. And I think that the track tomorrow actually will suit him. It's a good long straight stretch. Agaggio and that likes Goodwood, all right. But I think we're handicapped. We have a couple of bus horses there. First Emperor, and that won the last day too. We were on something in the race. And Ponzelius, it let us down once and then it nutted us another time. But Jamie Spencer tomorrow. Could Spencer do it for the bus? That is the burning question. We'll find out at 4 o'clock tomorrow, maybe a minute after it. So that's one long distance race tomorrow. The other one then is another 2 mile race, 32 yards. Legendary Day is the favourite, I think, isn't it? It was earlier. A reliable enough old horse. But there's a 4-year-old there for Richard Fahey, the Predictor. And if we go back 2 runs, when he met Legendary Day in Ripon on soft ground, and he's better on good ground, I think. He was getting £3. He's getting 5 tomorrow, I think. This was his first run back too, and Legendary Day had fitness on his side. He had several runs in the spring.
Far side the Predictor, out wide it's Good to Laugh. Legendary Day is moving quite well, and the back marker remains Baron Boyne. 3.5 to go. Ponzelius is now alongside her, driven along Land of Winter. That one's come under pressure, is still there on the far rails. Wider out, it's Good to Laugh as they head down with 2.5 to go. Ponzelius, it's Good to Laugh. These two now go on to Land of Winter, who now starts to beat a retreat. Making ground the Predictor in the white sleeves. Legendary Day is wider out. They head down inside the two. Ponzelius has the lead. In the black and white, he's got that far rails too. The Predictor is trying to challenge. Here comes Legendary Day out in the centre. That one starts to stay on well for Ryan Sexton. It's Legendary Day now down the outside, who's got the lead from Ponzelius in second. The Predictor is back in third. Legendary Day, Ponzelius, the Predictor is staying on between runners. They go close home. Legendary Day, the Predictor, and Ponzelius. Here's the line. Legendary Day has just got there to beat the Predictor. Third, Ponzelius. And
there was a neck between it. He was getting 3 that day. Getting £3. Tomorrow, getting £5. He had a run after that then. That was a pipe opener for the Chester Plate. And soft ground again that day. I don't think it suited him. Well, he ran all right on it, but he's better on better ground, I think.
Land of Winter in the red and blue's got a good position, 2 lengths off the lead. Oman's ridden along, then the grey military 2-step. It's Good to Laugh in a red jacket around the field. Novel Legend in the white is beginning to thread his way through, and the grey zinc white out wide is coming with him. Top of the straight just inside the 2. The Predictor noses ahead from Just Us. Out after them, the grey zinc white. It's Good to Laugh in the red. Second from the left, Novel Legend is now being asked for maximum effort. Just Us boxing on at 1 pace. Down the straight they come, furlong to go, and right over the top, Zinc White has powered through to take over. Grey head bowed low. Novel Legend is chasing, but time is running out, and Jim Crowley will bookend the Boodles May Festival.
That race was over 2 miles too as well, and he was winning at the 2 mile pole. His best runs last year, I thought, as well, when he won in, wasn't it in Thirsk? It was in Thirsk. It was over 2 miles of 73, and then he was second in York. That he went off fair with that to Atacama Desert. That was a class 3 as well. So he's ran in class 2 the last time. This is a class 4, Ushinar. So we have our buddy there, Blow Your Horn. He won the last year, but it was a class 5 or 6. I'd be going on that lad. Now, someone was looking for Perth tomorrow. We have an old buddy of ours there, Russian Virtue. Won a few times first there on flat and over the jumps. And this is a class 4, and its last couple of runs actually was in higher class race. But is it keeping its form is the thing. It was class 2, class 3, class 2. And the last time it was in class 5, it won. We were on it that day. Ballinlough has gone over from Gordon Elliott. But if that was 2.5 mile, I'd be sweeter on that. They're paying, I think, 4 places on that for anyone that might want an each way bet on the jumps tomorrow. The Perth Gold Cup is on tomorrow. Landofsmiles is the favourite, and it won it 2 years ago. The only thing about it is it was off 16 months, and it won the last, but it won Desperate Impressive. But will it bounce is the thing, and it's gone up from 122 to 130, but it won't be 10 lengths. But those lesser class, although it's not the greatest of Perth Gold Cups tomorrow, and he beat a good field, even Captain Orr there, and those decent horses behind. In
disguise, Hawkswell is struggling to keep up with the leaders, and Captain Orr the next group, 4 from home. Bothwell Bridge, Landofsmiles, Bothwell Bridge just the leader. Pulled up Evander before 4 from home. Close up Stormy Flight, Silver in Disguise, both ridden but both in touch. I See You Wells make good ground, the yellow, green and black colours. Then Risk and Roll and Captain Orr. Here's the ditch, 3 from home, Landofsmiles. And there, Silver in Disguise has blundered. A fantastic recovery from Charlie Price to keep the partnership intact, but surely that's cost him his chance as Landofsmiles races towards 2 from home and pulled up the right having lost his irons. Silver in Disguise over 2 out. Landofsmiles from Captain Orr, who's rallying well. Bothwell Bridge has dropped back, passed by Stormy Flight, and I See You Well is now switched to the near side, but it's Landofsmiles who is clear as they come to the final fence, and he's over safely. He's 8 lengths in front from Captain Orr. They're running on I See You Well as they race inside the last half furlong, and Landofsmiles, Sean Bowen for Peter Bowen.
He won this race 2 years ago. Let's see what rating he was in. Ballykeela sent over as well from Gordon Elliott for this race tomorrow. He's off 130 tomorrow. He's 2 for 2 in Perth, and he won this race 2 years ago off 127. So he's only £3 higher. So anyone that maybe might do a Trixie with them 3, and that's the middle leg. In France tomorrow, we have the West Wind Blows. This is a Group 3 race. West Wind Blows didn't stay the last day. It was in a 1.5 mile race that Hurricane Lane won. But it has won in Longchamp before over 10 furlongs. It was third. That was in a Group 3 and second, third in won a Group 3 and a group that was, it's down in sort of class that that could win tomorrow or could do a double in France. There's a horse there, Valimi. They're bringing this back in trip. this is a 7 furlong race. It's 6 furlongs and 211 yards. But they chucked this into a Group 1 the last time. And it didn't stay. And it was only collared. It was leading at the 7. And it won before in Longchamp. It's like it was 2 out of 4 won. It was 5th the last day, but it was a Group 1 race, like. He's out in front.
Behind those, Isaac Shelby poised in 3rd place. Kubrick's just in behind him. Mahaba Yasanafi behind those. American Flag beginning a challenge now. Response not immediate though on that. Bray Sky on the extreme right is next as Isaac Shelby's come through against the running rail. Mahaba Yasanafi in the blue nearest to us. Behind those is Valimi. Bray Sky and American Flag are closing from the back of the field. Isaac Shelby, the red cap. Mahaba Yasanafi has just been...
He got out straight over the mile. We have an old buddy of ours running tomorrow as well over here. American Sonia. But I don't know, is it but it's not a great race, this. It's listed. The last time, we won on it the time before in, where was it, Gordon, wasn't it? But then the last time it was a Group 3. It's only beaten a couple of lengths. But it was entered at the time for the 1,000, but it's 1,000 guineas. It didn't run in it. But since then, they must have thought they're bringing it to 7 tomorrow because that was over a mile, and they mustn't think it stayed at 7 because when it won in Gordon, it was over 7. Then the last race was a mile. But if you look at the entries, and it wasn't entered for that at the time, they have an entry for the Coronation Stakes, like, which is a Group 1, which is over 7. For 3-year-old only, so like this is a prep run tomorrow for that, it looks like. So it's hard to know is it good enough to win or not, but anyone that mightn't have spotted it, I just said I'd mention it. So anyway, I'll head. The phone was buzzing there. I think I know what it is. I should pick up a 20 of a hint or a stag party at Knock Airport tomorrow and drop them somewhere. There's someone stuck there this evening, so I haven't that word no in my vocabulary yet. Anyway, Bash the Book is over and out.